Alright guys, I know it's been a long time since this video. I finally found something that I think is going to be an easy video for me to put up, and something you guys are going to like. It's going to be RX7 content. This is actually a very common issue on FDs, so if you or anybody you know has an FD RX7 or you're looking at buying one, this is one thing that you need to check out prior to purchasing. Just, you know, maybe you can save yourself a few bucks. But these headlights right here, you know, they pop up and down. But these headlight covers actually are known to crack on the back side behind, you know, back here there's a tab that goes across. My car's been garage kept. When I got the car, it wasn't an issue, at least not that I noticed. But as I'm looking the car over, we're getting ready to do a couple things with the car for H2O in 2 weeks. So I'm glad I saw this, that way I don't lose them on the highway. I'll show you how to take these out and what I'm going to do to fix it, and hopefully that should hold for ever. Okay, so to fix these headlights, you're going to start by popping the lights up. You're going to need your battery hooked up. This shroud that goes around the actual headlight, there are 4 screws, 1, 2, and then 2 on this side, 1, 2. You just pop them out with a Phillips head screwdriver. Alright, now with the screws off, this just be careful that you don't scratch or break anything. This is pretty pliable plastic actually, but the headlight covers are not. If you see, there are 1, 2, and then there's 2 more back there. I already loosened these, so you just lift it out very carefully, and you can see here there's 4 tabs. It's this back one that's long that is the common issue. If you can see, mine's cracked and broke. Eventually that will give out. If the front ones break, then you're going to lose your cover. It's going to fly off on the highway most likely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of groove out the corners. I'll show you that here in a little bit. And then I'll put some epoxy. I'll just use some 2-part JB Weld, and that should hold it. Alright, so I started here kind of notching out the edges of the crack, kind of making a channel. I don't know that it's totally necessary this way, because this is a sort of plastic. It's not fiberglass, or I guess I should say that this might be poly-based plastic, which is why it's brittle. I'm not too sure, but the last time I did a plastic repair, you make a groove. That way it has somewhere for the binder to sit. So that's what I did with this. I used Dremel. I had to use a cutoff wheel because the other grinding stones and stuff that I have aren't small enough to get in this tight crack. So if you see right here, I just kind of grooved it out a little bit. It's okay if you go through the whole way. You know, it's going to get filled with JB Weld or whatever you use. If this is a poly-based plastic, you can plastic weld this. I've done it before. I actually might have some, they call it plastic welding rod. I just don't know where it's at. It's not going to be seen. It doesn't need to be sanded down and you know, primed over and painted. So this way is going to be just fine. The other alternative is buying new headlight covers. They do still have them available. I don't know if you can get them from Mazda anymore, but there's a few companies that have them. Saki Bomb Garage has them listed. I think they're somewhere around $200 for the pair. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get the JB Weld mixed up and then show you how to fill it. So for you guys out there who have never used JB Weld, I used to think it was kind of like I always heard of horror stories of people using JB Weld to fix like important stuff, like an oil pan or whatever. Definitely don't recommend it for that unless you're in a crazy pinch, but you got to get all the oil and stuff off thoroughly. But it's just a 2-part epoxy, so like it's 50-50 mix, I believe. And then you just stir it up. You got a limited time to work with it. I'm going to show you here how I'm going to do this. I use a toothpick. So you just kind of stuff it in the crack. It's kind of hard with one hand here. So you want to make sure you really get it like in the crack. That way you know it sticks. I probably should have made a little bit more mix to do the other areas that do crack, but if that happens, I'll address that in the future. But that's pretty much the repair. It's pretty straightforward getting them lined up. You know, you almost just push it on the whole way, and then that's good. As long as you don't have any panel gaps that aren't lined up, like your fenders, if your car's been in a wreck or something. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna make another video after this, so I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thanks for watching.